Trust with a bearded dragon does not happen all at once. It does not begin with cuddling. It does not begin with coming when called. And it definitely does not begin with your dragon acting like a dog or cat that wants to be near you just because you walked into the room. A bearded dragon's trust is built in stages. At first, you may not even realize the dragon is learning anything at all. It may just sit there, watch, freeze, tolerate, retreat, test, repeat. But underneath that, something important is happening. The dragon is constantly deciding whether your presence means danger, uncertainty, or safety. And over time, that decision changes. Today, we are going through every stage of a bearded dragon's trust, from fear to tolerance to recognition to bond. Not because bearded dragons think the way mammals do, but because they do build associations, and those associations change behavior in very real ways. Welcome back to the Reptile Lab. If you are new here, subscribe now, because this is where we go beyond the usual care advice and get into what your reptile is actually experiencing. Stay to the end, because stage 7 is the one most keepers think they already have, but usually do not. Stage 1, fear. This is where trust begins, or more accurately, where it does not exist yet. A dragon in fear mode is not trying to be difficult. It is trying to survive. Everything about its posture, movement, and attention is shaped by caution. It may darken its beard, flatten its body, hold itself tightly, watch every movement, refuse to move at all, or disappear into cover the moment something changes. At this stage, the dragon does not yet have a stable category for you as a safe presence. You are simply part of the environment that might cause trouble. That is why the early days of handling matter so much. Every time you move too fast, grab from above, or force interaction before the dragon is ready, you reinforce the idea that you are not predictable. And predictability is the foundation of trust in reptiles. So at stage 1, the goal is not connection. The goal is reducing fear. Stage 2, observation. Once fear starts dropping, observation takes over. This is the stage where the dragon begins to watch instead of immediately flee. It may stay in place longer when you enter the room. It may track your movement with its eyes. It may sample your scent, turn its head toward you, or remain alert without going into full defensive mode. That is progress. Observation means the dragon is no longer reacting purely from panic. It is gathering information. It wants to know who you are, what you usually do, and whether you are still worth worrying about. A lot of keepers misread this stage. They think the dragon is getting used to them, in a vague, emotional sense. But what is really happening is more useful than that. The dragon is creating a data set. Her presence is becoming something it can study, and that study is the beginning of trust. Stage 3, tolerance. This is where things start to feel less dramatic, but they become more meaningful. Tolerance means the dragon has decided that your presence does not automatically need a strong response. It may still not want interaction. It may still choose to hide, sit, or avoid. But it no longer panics every time you appear. This is a major milestone. A tolerant dragon saying, in effect, "You are here, and I am not going to waste energy reacting unless I need to." That is not affection. It does not bond yet, but it is absolutely the beginning of a safer relationship. You may notice that the dragon stays visible longer, moves more normally, or seems less tense when you approach. You may also notice that the dragon begins recovering faster after handling or enclosure changes. That is tolerance becoming a pattern. And once the pattern exists, trust can grow from it. Stage 4, familiarity. This is where the dragon begins to know you, or at least know what you usually mean. Familiarity is one of the biggest shifts in reptile behavior, because it reduces uncertainty. The dragon starts learning your timing, your scent, your movements, and the outcomes that usually follow your arrival. Maybe you are the one who brings food. Maybe you are the one who opens the enclosure. Maybe you are the one who cleans. Maybe you are the one who sits nearby and does nothing. Whatever your role, the dragon starts sorting it into a stable category. That matters because a familiar presence is easier to regulate around than an unknown one. The dragon does not need to solve the entire problem of human every single time. It can start predicting outcomes. And prediction is where stress starts dropping. A lot of what people call bonding at this stage is actually the dragon becoming more efficient at understanding you. That may sound less romantic, but it is more accurate. And accuracy is what actually helps keepers build better relationships. Stage 5, routine trust. This is where the dragon begins to trust not just you, but the patterns surrounding you. Routine trust means the dragon has learned that your behavior tends to be consistent. It knows roughly when things happen. It knows when a hand enters the enclosure, that it does not always mean capture. It knows that not every appearance comes with a threat. That predictability allows the dragon's nervous system to stay more regulated. Now the dragon may stay calm longer, stay out in the open more often, or respond more smoothly to handling or enclosure maintenance. It may still not seek you out in the mammal sense, but it no longer treats you like an unpredictable event. This stage matters because routine trust is what sets the stage for deeper comfort. A bearded dragon does not usually move from fear straight into bond. It moves through patterns first. And if those patterns are stable enough, the dragon can begin to relax enough to do more than just tolerate you. Stage 6, recognition. This is where the dragon starts showing signs that it knows you specifically. Recognition may look subtle. The dragon may stay calmer when you approach than when a stranger approaches. It may react differently to your voice, your scent, or your movement. It may no longer treat you like just another human in the room. That is a meaningful step. Recognition does not mean the dragon loves you in the emotional sense humans use, but it does mean your presence has become distinct in the dragon's mind. You are no longer a random variable. You are a known one. And once the dragon knows you as a stable, familiar, low-risk part of the environment, the trust can start becoming more visible. This is where keepers often begin to notice the dragon staying calm during handling, resting near them, or appearing less defensive over time. Recognition is not the end, but it is the point where the relationship starts feeling real instead of merely tolerated. Stage 7, bond. This is the stage most people think they have before they actually do. A bond with a bearded dragon does not mean the dragon acts like a mammal. It does not mean excitement in the usual human way. It does not mean following you around, seeking you out constantly, or showing affection with the same intensity a dog would. A bond with a bearded dragon is quieter. It means the dragon has enough history with you to associate your presence with safety, stability, and low stress. It may settle faster. It may be calmer during handling. It may remain more open in your presence. It may tolerate or even enjoy interaction in a way it never did before. But even then, the bond is still built on the dragon's terms. That is what makes it real. A lot of people project mammal-style affection onto reptiles and miss the actual relationship happening in front of them. A dragon bond is not about emotional display. It is about reduced fear, reduced tension, increased predictability, and greater comfort. That may not look dramatic, but it is powerful, because when your dragon reaches this stage, what you have built is not a trick or a performance. It is a lived pattern of safety repeated enough times that the dragon no longer has to brace against you. And that is the closest thing to bond in bearded dragon language. So every stage of a bearded dragon's trust really does matter. Fear, observation, tolerance, familiarity, routine trust, recognition, bond. That is the real path. Not instant connection, not overnight affection, not some magical moment where the dragon suddenly decides you are family. It is slower than that. And because it is slower than that, it is more meaningful when it happens. If this one hit home, drop a comment and tell me which stage your dragon is in right now.